Commitment in a relationship is a very delicate thing. Offering serious commitment to your partner is not only a signal of love and devotion on an emotional level, it also shows the rational will to share time and resources exclusively with that partner. Welcome to Useful Thoughts. This is part 2 of the series How to Attract a Partner. And in this episode we will discuss how to offer commitment if we actually are ready to do so. Because real commitment can only be offered when not only the heart tells you to do so, but when the rational mind is ready to do so as well. Commitment is hard to fake, as it has to be proven again and again and again, and therefore takes a lot of frequent effort and maintenance. Offering commitment is one thing, but sustaining it is another thing. Every relationship needs to be maintained. The ability to offer commitment is regarded as highly attractive, a highly attractive trait not anyone can provide. Please note, so if a man starts discussing possible futures of a relationship with a woman, like moving in with him, how it would be to have kids or to share a pet, what new furniture to buy, where to travel next, etc., this man is offering commitment, or at least signaling the possibility to do so in the future. At this point, when a man talks about all these things, it is pretty clear for a woman that he is seriously interested in a committed relationship. A woman who does not want a serious relationship with a man will not engage in such a conversation. But if she does, this is a good sign. And it will strengthen the bond of the relationship. Many women, however, expect such talks much sooner in a relationship than men would think. If a woman talks about housing, kids, marriage, etc., that does not mean she is seriously interested in a committed relationship. She just wants to check out if the man is principally able to offer such a commitment. For the woman, this might be a prerequisite to even consider a man for a monogamous relationship. This is why she wants to find out quickly if that man just wants to have sex. For a man, on the other hand, such talk, especially in the beginning of a relationship, can be overwhelming. He hardly knows this woman and she's already talking about kids and marriage. That can scare men, that can chase them off. That can scare men, that can chase them even away. A man would think, did that woman just fall in love with me? I mean, she's talking about marriage and kids and our future. She must really be into me. But that came so quickly. Am I ready to do this with this woman? I hardly know her. These talks, when they come too early, they cause a lot of stress. Because most men take these talks very seriously, much more seriously than women do, who initiated the talk. So man, if your spouse starts to talk about a possible future, don't take it too seriously. They just want to find out if you are marriage material, but they don't necessarily want to marry you. It is a game, so you have to play along. Also, when you are new in a relationship, your spouse might bomb you with text messages. It may be a little much sometimes, and you might even wonder if this woman is crazy. She might also expect you to call her every day, talk on the phone at least once a day. This is normal. This is women's way of receiving and getting attention from you. And it is also a constant proof of interest and commitment. And even if these messages might distract you, you need to play along. Otherwise you create insecurity and your spouse might think you only want sex. Women often use casual sex to evaluate prospective husbands. They create an illusion of a committed relationship to see how it would feel like to be and to commit with this man. This does not necessarily mean they already did commit and they are dating exclusively. They might evaluate multiple men at the same time, which is far more efficient than evaluating one single man after the other, especially when they get older and their time is running out. Women are very good in playing this game. I have been There were actually a few of my ex-girlfriends who admitted that they were seeing someone else in the beginning of our relationship. Of course, they admitted that when they broke up. So be very careful, man, because just it feels like a serious relationship doesn't mean it is one. Women can turn around 180 degrees in a second. But as long as you play the game along, if you like her, play as good as you can. Constant texting and talking is much more often found in a committed relationship than in a casual one. If you want your casual relationship to become a serious one, you need to act as if it is already a serious one. So text more. Of course, doing this, you would scare off women who only want casual sex. But women love attention so much, they might even give a man a chance they actually do not find physically attractive, but if he is charming and caring and persistent enough, and if he understands her problems, and if he shows sensitivity to her needs, and if he would fix things for her or constantly show that he will care for her and so on. So if he shows loving devotion, does special things, surprises her, helps her out anytime she wants, she might be considering this guy sooner or later. However, probably more later than sooner, if all her other options ran out. So this may be in several years or decades, but sometimes it happens. So one quick episode from my life. Once I had a girlfriend who introduced me to her whole family before she slept with me. I found this somehow weird and disturbing, as if being with a certain man was not her decision alone, as if she needed a proof or even allowance for her family for a specific man. And the weird thing was, she was already 35 years old. I mean, far old enough and mature enough to make her own decisions. But somehow it was important to introduce me to her family. I don't know. Again, it is a game and one needs to play along, and it seems, well, there are some rules that can be applied for everyone, but in a way everyone has his or her own rules as well. On the other hand, introducing you to the family is, or can be, a very strong sign of commitment from the woman's side. But it can also be a sign that she just put you in the friend zone. Like, hey, I already introduced you to my mom and dad and sis, you're part of the family now. I have serious plans with you. Or, hey, I just introduced you to my mom and dad and sis. Can we be just friends? So before I continue talking about offering commitment, I am asking you to commit to me. So if you're ready for a serious relationship with this channel, please hit subscribe and also give the video a like. And if you actually want to support me, then you can buy me a coffee. The link to do so is in the description. Your help is very much appreciated, so thanks a lot. Have you ever seen a man removing his wedding ring before entering a bar? I have. Have you ever seen a highly attractive woman talking to an older, unattractive but very well-dressed man with an expensive watch? I have. As I said in the beginning, a serious commitment is hard to fake, especially over time, but it is not impossible. Some people have become expert illusionists of faking commitment. This is the dark side of the commitment mechanism, mimicking what your partner desires to attract him or her into bed. Men use this technique to secure a casual partner, whereas women use this technique to evaluate the marriage material qualities of the man. In both cases, men and women pretend that the relationship is much more serious than it actually is for them, resulting in disappointment and even harder broken hearts later. I thought you loved me. I thought you wanted to move in with me and we have kids and become a family, and now you want to keep it casual? What is it you want to tell me? There is another woman? Or... But I did everything to make you feel comfortable here. I thought you liked my apartment. I thought you liked my sofa. I did all the shopping. I cooked for you. I was sharing my life with you. I spent my money for you. I thought you were my girlfriend. I thought we'd get married. I thought we had plans together. You were talking about kids, and now you say it was just casual? I mean, you have been living with me for a couple of weeks. And now we're just friends? Is this normal for you? Is this what you do with friends? You sleep in bed with them? On both sides, faking commitment will leave a very, very bitter taste that will stay in the throat long. People please. So I'm kindly asking you to not fake commitment, because I've been hurt many times because of this. It is just an unfair and very hurtful thing to do. You don't play with another person's heart. Quit playing games with my heart. Instead, play with open cards. Be honest to each other. Share your real intentions before you seriously hurt someone. Play the game of mating and dating, but do it in a respectful way. A game is supposed to be fun and not to hurt anyone. And finally, to look at some numbers, here are some fun facts about mimicking commitment that I have read in a study. Over 30% of men who are on the dating app Tinder are married. There are more men in single bars who are married or in a committed relationship than there are actual singles in single bars. Over 50% of women, so basically every second woman, does already have a new spouse before she ends a relationship. And over 30% of women would date other men in the first 6 months of a new relationship. When men are being asked how many sexual partners they have had in their lifetime so far, they would exaggerate their body count by around 20%. Whereas when women are being asked how many sexual partners they had, they would understate their body count by 50%. It seems that women have more sex than men. Is this possible because we have like 50-50 men and women? So there must be a few men who do them all. For whatever reason, men and women are hardly ever being honest to each other when it comes to commitment. Still, offering commitment is almost a necessity for a longer relationship, no matter if it is authentic or if it is fake. Being aware of these illusions and fakes and games people play all the time, well, this can make one feel very mistrustful and maybe even paranoid. But on the other hand, it can save you some harm. So hopefully you are now a little bit more aware of what is really going on. And if you think of your past relationships, maybe something may click in your mind. So my idea was to make you aware of how this game is being played, and that not everything people say is really meant the way they say it. I thought it would be better to know this than to get hurt. So, what do you think? Have you been a victim of a faked commitment? Drop me a few lines in the comments. If you have found these thoughts useful, you may also consider sending this episode to somebody you know who could also benefit from these thoughts. And if you want to subscribe, just click on the round image, and here are some other videos that you can watch. And as always, thank you for listening, and see you later, alligators.